Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Denise joining me. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Amanda. Hi, guys.
Guys, so we have a really exciting video on everyone as you pushed out and how to recreate people. So we're going to give some great tips that you can use if you are manifesting, an ex or anything like that. Just before we dive right into it, Denise is available for coaching and she's got some amazing courses. Her most recent I Am one is amazing because that is what we should be doing, is just saying, I am successful. I am, instead of putting it off into the future. So really, really excited. And guys, if you haven't heard, we are having a contest. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, we are giving away 3 free video coaching sessions with the coach of your choice. All you need to do to enter is subscribe, share our videos, and then comment of what you've manifested with the law of attraction. So welcome, Denise.
Thank you. And good luck on the contest, everybody.
Right? I see a lot of people commenting, I'm going to win it with Denise.
Awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. So do you have a success story of recreating somebody?
I do. Well, I mean, I have a few actually, but I have with myself, my personal story. You know, when I got into my relationship and was manifesting that relationship in the beginning, the version that I was with was somebody that didn't want a long-term relationship, didn't want a relationship in the future with anyone that had already had children, because if he wanted to have that experience, he thought he wanted to have it with somebody. They were both having it for their first time together, and just didn't see himself with somebody that was as many years his senior as I am.
So, that's a number.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so funny to hear you say that, because I remember when it was a block and now you say it giggling, like you almost were like, I can't believe I even thought that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it was, you guys, it was a block. It was a big deal, not only with him, but also with, I thought, what is his family going to think? What is his mom going to think? Because as a mother, that's the first thing, what's his dad going to think? I'm, X amount of years younger than them. Like it became a whole story, but obviously they loved me and it didn't matter. But I had to get behind that mental diet and create that they would accept me and know that our relationship was everything that it should be, regardless of our age difference. So anyhow, yeah. And I guess those were the main things that he didn't want that I had and that I was offering in relationship with him. And I mean, it took some persistence, getting through the different blocks over and over again, but in time, getting behind, first off, my own judgments around the age discrepancy was a big thing. And then remembering that, wait a minute, this is just me. Like, it doesn't matter. He's going to want what I say he wants. He's going to be on board with whatever I say he's on board with. And so in time, just continuing to bring myself back to, he loves everything about our relationship. He's over the age difference. He actually finds me more attractive because I'm older than him. The family thing was a big thing with us. And so I got behind the idea of, he sees us as a happy family. Like, he wants to be a role model to my children. He likes the idea of being a stepdad. He feels comfortable in that role. And like, literally, you guys, so now he's living with me and I can't express enough how amazing he is in that role. Like, I'm constantly appreciating him and thanking him. And it's funny because I had recorded a year and a half ago me telling this story about what our relationship is like and how our household is. Like, he does, it was just all the details about how the household is run and how we all communicate and how we are in this house. And now I'm walking around and I'm looking at it and I'm going, this is the version that I created, a year and a half ago. And now here it is. And I'm living in it. And it's pretty amazing. But he's supportive. He's helpful. He has so stepped into the role of stepdad that, like, my son wants to start calling him dad. Like, he's doing it on occasion. He's looking to him for guidance and acceptance. And it's the most amazing thing. It is so awesome. And even recently, like, it's funny, we got into an argument. And it was kind of like right after, that we had just moved in, or he had just moved in. And so there was tension and stress and we're all adjusting to this new thing. And he and I just were bickering for days and days and days. And then it just kind of exploded into this, like, maybe we just shouldn't do this anymore. Like, maybe I should move out next month. And I'm like, oh, and we're in the moment. And I got in my car and I went and did the errands I needed. And I like took a deep breath and I was like, what am I doing? Like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine when I get back. Like, this is all behind us. And this is just a thing that's getting us closer to more commitment and more intimacy and more understanding and that new level of a harmonious relationship. And sure enough, I come home and I walk in the door Neither of us said a thing about it. He walked up to me, he gave me a big kiss, and he was like, "This is what I want." And that was it. And we just didn't talk about it again. And everything's been great since then. So
Oh my God, that's so
yeah.
amazing, eh? I love
Yeah. Yeah. It's been awesome. And it's really amazing when you feel that shift and you can feel that like, oh, wait, what am I doing? I don't have to worry about this. Like,
Yes,
I got
you know
this.
what? That's the one big thing there too. I've got a little bit of a success story. So I did have a fight with Andrew a little while ago. And so I was outside fuming mad, and I intended that he would come down and apologize and everything he would say word for word. Not long after I finished that intention, he came down the stairs, poked his head out and apologized and said everything I intended word for word. But I wasn't done yet. I was still upset. So the funny thing is when he sat down and said those things, and then he started going on a little bit, and because I wasn't even in that apologetic state yet, I wanted to be, and I was trying to get there. And then because I was still upset, it sparked in him to be upset again, and then boom again, right? And then I was like, and then I shifted. I said, no, you know what am I doing? I'm the God of my reality. No, I'm going to calm down, you know. And then I realized, you know, when it comes to reacting and getting upset, because I think that's one of the biggest blocks to recreating somebody, I thought to myself, it's not even worth it getting upset and reacting over this. Like, it really isn't. Like, who am I hurting? He doesn't care. He doesn't care if I'm upset and pouting outside and on the lawn furniture. He doesn't care. He's doing his own thing. Like, you know, well, he cares, but you know what I mean? Like, it's
Right.
not, you know, so, and then even after we have those moments, we've still got to shift back into it being okay to have it okay. So why even go there to begin with,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And I tell like myself and clients too, that like, when you remember that it's your manifestation, that's like baking a pie and then being really upset that it's not a cake when you pull it out of the oven. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
You're just
that's exactly like, oh, I put you in as a pie, but I expected you to come out as a cake.
can't believe this. How is this happening? It's like, just throw it in the garbage and make the cake. Like, just put your attention on that and your energy on that. Create the cake now. Put the right ingredients in it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think the really big important part is not to take anything personally or to make things mean that you're not good enough. And one thing that I want to take the opportunity to talk about, because we are going to talk about recreating people and manifesting exes and whatnot, but there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's also nothing wrong with manifesting someone new and not wanting to go for an ex. Guys, you guys are the creator of your reality, and you are God of your reality. You choose what you get in your reality. So if you don't want to manifest an ex, then don't. And if you do, then do. But none of it's success, none of it's failure. It's only creation and experiencing. So it's just a question of, what do you want to experience right now? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And what do you think your path of least resistance to getting what you want really is? Because if there's such a strong story about a specific person that you are just bringing more anxiety into your life or creating these walls within yourself, like battling, trying to make them change. But if you don't believe they're going to, then they won't. Then move on. And all those things that you didn't like about that person, you can recreate in a new person that they don't have those qualities and traits. So you're still recreating. You're always getting what you want and getting closer to what you want and using those experiences to guide you there.
Exactly. So yeah, the one most important part too, recreating somebody. So let's say you do have somebody like in your story and Denise's story is that, you know, she wanted this to have this relationship, and she did put in all the details in there of how she wanted the relationship to look. But there's one important thing when it comes to recreating people is we have to take any complaints that we have about them and we need to address them, because our thoughts are like sticky notes to people. So for instance, my insecurities about my age, that's going to stick to that person. Now, sure, I can focus on everything is going to be great. They're going to be a great dad, but I still need to deal with that particular piece of information, and I need to identify it and then just renounce it. Like, all you need to do is go, okay, I've got a story that he's too young for me. I need to change that, and then start on the changing of that story. So, you know, so I always say, do that list of complaints when you recreate somebody, like, and then change them, because those are the core issues, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You have to become aware of what it is that you're not happy with or that you're concerned about or insecure about, and so that you can then recreate from there. And that's a big part of it is the awareness. Like if we don't have the awareness, then we're just usually going to keep creating the same things. Because if you're not practicing awareness of your thoughts, you're just thinking the same thoughts over and over and over. And
Exactly.
yeah, all my relationships have been the same. Yeah, because you've been thinking the same thoughts.
Exactly. That is so great. It's like, I remember when I first realized it, right? I was like, oh my God, every relationship is turning out the same, right? And then somebody said to me, I'm not even sure who, they said, well, what's the common denominator between all those relationships? It's like, I am me.
Yep.
Oops. Like me.
Oh, interesting. I was part of all those.
I was there for everything, right? So,
yep.
you know, and it really is about shifting us, because everyone is us pushed out, right? So when I have a thought, it automatically will radiate out to everybody, and it's instant, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're constantly sending out frequencies, constantly. It doesn't ever stop.
Exactly. So for instance, like, you know, if I'm like walking downstairs and I think, oh, you know, I'm like, oh, Andrew's probably gonna want Chinese food for dinner. Like, I'm not, you know, I like it once in a while, you know, and then sure enough, right, he's like, you want Chinese food for dinner? I'm like, of course you do. Of course. Like, you know, like it's always there, and it's that quick. So even when we cause someone to treat us badly, we've created it. We do create it. And then we create it, and then, you know, and then maybe we react to it. But so we're always right. If we think someone's disrespected us, they disrespected us because you've created it, right? So it's about changing the story, so you're not creating people to treat you like that anymore. But part of it too is not being upset about it. You know, it's about focusing on what you want your solution to be, because as soon as you focus on what your solution is going to be, you automatically detach, you automatically let go, and then you're automatically living in that end, because the minute you think something, you actually have it. It may not be manifested in the 3D yet, but that signal's gone into somebody's head. Okay. It doesn't show up, say it again. Doesn't show up, say it again. You know, add more to it, right? But really important with recreating people is you've got to go through all your complaints with them. That's the biggest thing. You know, we can't just go, oh, I intend that he makes me a priority, but then we have a story that he doesn't like to text.
Right. Yeah.
Well, he's going to tell you he makes you a priority but he's probably not going to text you.
Yep. I always have the assumption, not always, but often I'll have the assumption like, oh, he's going to be grouchy. And then when it manifests instantly, right? Like he'll walk in the door and he'll seem to be a little grouchy. And then now I have a story at least where I'm like, oh, it's just because he's hungry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't make it mean anything about me. I just made it mean like, he just needs a snack.
You know what? That's so funny. Okay, so So way back when I first started dating Andrew, the exact same thing. So he would get crabby once in a while. Okay, so I would start to think, oh, that's it. He doesn't want to be with me. He wants to go home. He's got other things to do. Right. And then sure enough, he would like cut the date short and be like, oh, you know what? I got to go. Like, you know, and he'd take me home. I'd be like, are you going to come in? He's like, no, I got to go. And I'm like, okay. So then I was starting to take it personally, but then I was like, no, maybe he's just hungry. So then another time we were out and I started to think that, oh, he's getting grumpy. Maybe he doesn't want to be with me. He wants to take me home. Then I was like, no, it's only because he's hungry. It's just because he's hungry. And then all of a sudden, right, I'm like, I thought to myself, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come out. And then he's going to say, let's go get a drink and a hot dog. Because we were at like the horse races, right? And obviously it was sure enough, went to the bathroom, came out and he's like, oh, let's go to a drink and a hot dog. I'm hungry. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. And then he says, well, I get crabby when I'm hungry. I was okay. So then I put up with that for about 2 years. Okay. Fast forward 2 years, right? Getting grumpy when he's hungry. Now I don't want to deal with this anymore. So then so one day I was like, no, I intend that he never gets grumpy. He's always in a good mood, even when he's hungry. Like it's no big deal. Like, you know. And so we were going to this baseball game. It was a corporate thing through for his business. So all his staff was going and his family, and it was before COVID. It was a long time ago. So we went, and on our way there, okay, so Andrew was up early at like 7:30 in the morning, but the game didn't start until noon. And then we were having like this buffet there, right? So you know, I wasn't going to eat before we went because I'm like, buffet, right? Like, why eat in the morning? Yeah. But Andrew didn't eat either. And so when we were driving to the game, I was like, oh, I didn't eat yet. And I'm like, I can't wait to get there. I hope the hot dogs and stuff are ready. And he was like, yeah, I didn't eat any either. And I'm like, and you're in a good mood still? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, did it? Yeah. And then he was bragging about it. He's like, yeah, he's like, I'm hungry and I'm not even grumpy. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Right? So
that's so good. I'll have to do that because.
But the thing is, right, as long as we don't make a big deal of it, we can change it. If we just take it in that, you know, being in that state of, you know what, I'm God and I can have what I want, and reminding yourself that everyone is you pushed out and they're only reflecting back your thoughts, and taking that moment to remind yourself of that, you know, will bring you back to, like, if you're thinking they're doing something to you, then you're in a victim mode and you're constantly going to keep recreating that. But if we switch it to, no, I created this, it's really no big deal, we're going to change it, then, you know, and Neville says that as well, you know, it's to be in control of your emotions. That's the name of this game. Be in control of your emotions. How do you control your emotions? Through your thoughts. Fundamentally, what do? You have people around you, people upset you. Well, you don't take it seriously and you recreate them with the parts of them that, you know, that you want to change, right? So by just changing your thinking or the reasons why they're doing it, you're ultimately going to change your reality, right?
Yeah, take it as an opportunity just to see what you've been assuming and to then change it. Like, when you look at it like that, then it's like, oh, okay, this is just showing me that I think he's a jerk when he's hungry. This is just showing me.
I'm sure everyone can relate. You know, I've had thoughts and my thoughts have upset me when I've had them. And then all of a sudden somebody will repeat them back. And then, you know, I was like, Andrew was going upstairs the other day and he thought something and I said it, and he got a little bit annoyed at me, and he's like, I just thought that. And I said, and let me guess, it annoyed you when you thought it? He was like, yeah. And then he's like, and then you say it.
Yeah.
But he didn't even say it out loud. He was just, but we were all pushed out, right? And when I had that thought, I was like, oh, I bet you that annoyed him. Sure enough, he was like annoyed.
Instantly. Like, oh.
You know, I always intend that I see how everyone is being pushed out every day, because it's those little tiny moments that bring me back to out of that victimhood going, okay, smarten up. You do get what you want. It is all here for you. You know, you are perfect, you know, it's coming, you know, and maintaining that persistence, right?
Yeah. And that's something I was going to say too, is when you make this list of all the things that you don't want, that are undesirable about your person or whatever it is, your job, your situation, your person, your boss.
Thanks.
When you make, not my boss.
I love my boss. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I love you too. And I love all the subscribers. I love everybody.
So much love. But when you make this list and then you recreate your new list, the new things, you know, the opposite of them, in those moments when they're showing up in that old way, I have found for myself, it's really, really helpful, rather than just trying to say like, okay, he's being grouchy, rather than saying like, no, he's being happy. He's happy. He's happy. I will actually just say like, I'm worth him being in a good mood. Like, I deserve to have him be in a good mood. Like, he wants to be in a good mood because of me, or he's in a good mood when he's around me. So like, if you shift it and make it a little bit about you, but not, you know, you're kind of like, well, I'm good enough for him to make me a priority and to want to text. Maybe he doesn't want to text everyone else, but I'm worth it. So he always wants to text me. So like, that's helpful in those moments.
I love that, because with that intention, that affirmation, you're actually right away just taking care of that personal side of it. Like, you know what, even if you didn't consciously think it, but you've had a subconscious story about taking things personally, you're just taking care of it right then and there. And like, we can never go wrong. I always do that too. Even though like I'm really good at not taking things personally, I always just throw it in there anyway, you know, because it's just a matter of repetition. The more we repeat something, the more we condition ourselves, and the more we change things for the next day, you know, like we really do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. That's so amazing. Well, guys, I intend each and every one of you guys got some really good information from this. So if you would like help finding your blocks, Denise is the one for you. She'll give you a bunch of great intentions as well that'll turn things around. She's also successful in her own personal life, so she knows how to do this. She's very successful. She's in a happy relationship, as am I most days. Actually, just kidding, every day. Except when I'm pouting outside on the lawn furniture. But
I mean, it's never every day, right? Like, I gotta, there's still the things. You gotta keep the spice and flavor in life.
Well, you know, well, the one thing that I want to say is like, one thing that I've sort of learned, and just to add this in there, is that, you know, reacting in fights, they don't have to be a bad thing. They don't have to ruin everything. Nothing is ever ruined. Like, you can have a moment and be like, yeah, I reacted, and everyone's okay with it. In fact, they get it and they're going to smarten up and they're going to see it my way. So you can use it to your advantage, you know, and the thing is, right, is sure, I've created fights with Andrew. I mean, yeah, I have. I mean, newsflash, I'm not perfect, but I chose to do it. It doesn't mean I'm a failure in any way. I chose. And it's so funny. I can tell you exactly how I started the fight in my head. I can tell you exactly. And then I just use it as, wow, you know what? Manifestation still works, you know, and, you know, and shifting it and looking at it in that light rather than, you know, making it mean that everything's ruined, because it's not, you know, we're still together. It's great. We're relationship's great now, but I also create that if we do ever fight, it brings us closer together. And I think that is so important, right? So
yeah, I like that one too.
I love that one.
Yeah.
So guys, yes, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.